Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. This is the story of the first ever compiler kill in Cryo Archive. It's taking clips from my recap stream that I did from Bungie HQ where I am right now, and we're going to start with teams discovering how Cryo works, opening their first vaults, figuring out the mechanics, and then we'll go into the actual race to get the compiler taken down, because it ended up being very back and forth and really exciting. So without further ado, enjoy. Let's start taking a look at some individual moments, and this is Waller's team pretty early on, and they're looking around, and Waller's like, oh, what the hell is this?
We still don't know what those are.
Yes,
Those are never used.
This is weird. Chat? What is going on there?
Because there's like 100 of those.
Yeah, and it's very sus. New ARG nodders. But let's keep the clip going now, and we'll take a look at the second terminal in this clip, which is this one. These scanners are all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was one of the sort of fundamental things that the different teams had to learn to use just to get through different rooms. We saw a lot of those terminals. We also started seeing players learn about the frost in the map, right?
Yeah, you build up this sort of effect as you're standing in, and it slows down your heals, it slows down your physical movement. In various parts of the map, you will interact with rooms that will make you cold if you're walking in them. There will be little green panels on the wall, which I'm sure we'll show in later clips or areas of gameplay that we'll look at, where you can shoot them and it'll disable the frost. You can see Frost is building there as he goes in as Shroud walks in this room. And that gives him reduced healing for, it looks like 20 seconds after the fact as well. Very cool, almost map-specific, I mean, definitely map-specific status effect, and gives you a good use for mech hits.
We then started to see people adapting and starting to solve vaults. Because in the build-up to Cryo, we've had these 6 vault keys that we've all been hoarding and waiting to use. And that meant that when we got in, we weren't sure if we'd have to use the Vault 1 key first, and then the Vault 2 key, and the Vault 3, etc., or if they could all be used out of order. And it turned out they could be used out of order. So we started seeing progress on Vault 4 at the same time as Vault 1, at the same time as Vault 5. We've got a clip here for you of ALL getting into Vault 5 that we're going to show you, just to give you a flavor of what it looks like to get through one of these vaults. We'll pull to that now. Yeah. And while we're showing you that, just to kind of give you guys context, there's this battery system, which is something that is all over the map. You can find these batteries. It's very sort of pervasive through the experience. You see it all over the place. There's this scanning element to the map as well, which is a vault-specific mechanic as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, it's for the key holder, yeah.
Yep. And so once you've scanned your key, you can then go into the vault room, which they're going to do in just a moment here. They just need to scan their key card, which is what that player is doing in front of the Albrelelli point of view. They get some bots that spawn in outside.
Wait, we're so fucked. We don't have enough time for this.
Here we go. And this is the entrance of Vault 5.
And what's so crazy is when they did this, we didn't really have a good understanding of what the vaults were.
So we saw teams like Albrelelli who I could be mistaken, because I don't have like a API list of things here. This is not official. This is just from what I was seeing through my eyeballs yesterday. But I didn't see anyone else get into Vault 5 first, so I think Albrelelli might have done that the most quickly. But we saw other teams doing other vaults, right? So we've got a clip here of Saint, Clover, and Invicta, who I think, again, I can't confirm. I'm not a Bungie spokesperson in this particular sentence, but I think that they might have been the first into Vault 3, so let's take a little look at that now. They've got a clip of it here, I believe, that we can pull to. So this is their team getting into that third vault. So you'll see outside, there's some similar systems to what we saw in the Vault 5 clip, but we've got a little bit of a longer clip here to show you what's inside some of these spaces. So in Vault 3, you can see that there are those icons, the 3 red dots there that indicate that there's some kind of trio of progress that they need to kind of get through. There's a green screen down there in the frost that they just spotted as well. There was that screen when they walked into the room. And so what the team is going to do here is they're going to start interacting with these terminals and linking them. There are 3 of the terminals to be found.
Yep.
And so I believe that either one of the teammates here is maybe activating the other terminals. So they're gonna get those 3 done. popping their little
Use a mech
skip.
kit to get rid of cryo, but
There you go.
then jumping right back into it.
Yep.
But they'll have some resistance here because of that mech kit. So
Yep, for sure. And so what they're doing right now in the pump station is they're trying to sort of make sure that they understand what they need to do in the space because they're in there for the first time. And they're also trying to get into the loot room, which you can't do quite
valid.
yet.
Not even Squish can get through.
Yeah, not quite yet. You're not quite there. But then once you disable the frost downstairs on that green box, you can get into the loot room. You can start looting, and there's all sorts of goodies in there. That's actually probably the worst loot box I've seen in one of these vaults. A lot of the time they do have hella golds in them.
Yesterday, well, every vault has one guaranteed gold.
They got pretty... Oh, but they did get another vault. Or was that...
That's an outpost key.
That's an outpost key. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so you can get other vault keys. You can get special keys that give you random cryo keys as well. You can get a ton of keys for other maps. Every vault does have, you will get a specific gold weapon that is specific to and unique to that vault. So there are 7.
Yes.
So we'll say 6 unique gold weapons, and then maybe another one that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah. And we have a clip of that, which we'll pull to in a second here.
Yeah.
The unique weapons are very cool. They work a little differently to the gold items that we've seen elsewhere in the game. So up to this point, if you found a gold mod in a crate, it's a mod. So you can put it on a gun, and then you can take it off the gun and put it on another gun, and you're fine.
Yep.
The named weapons are specifically, what would you call it?
They are
unbreakable.
They are complete packages that you cannot sell for resale, like individual parts of. Like you cannot pull the mod off to save inventory space if you have the gold burr, which I forget the name of.
The dervish.
The dervish. You have to, if you want to keep that, you have to keep the full dervish in your vault, which is very cool. It does mean that they end up taking a lot of vault space. There are a lot of things that as you progress deeper and deeper into harder parts of this map and into more complex, as you progress through the vaults, you need to do more and more things to get the better and better loot.
So let's take a look at some of that better loot. Right? I said that I'd pull a little gold gun clip for you. I believe this might be a clip from Cross potentially here. Let's take a little look. And it should be the unique Burt, which we're calling the Burt for a reason because it's BRRT.
Yes.
Yep. And it's the Dervish. That's its name. So they are in Vault 1 here, it looks like.
Cross enjoying the...
They look terrified of Vault 1, by the way.
It is. When you don't know what's going on, it is pretty scary. Like, you don't want to accidentally make the wrong call. And so that's one of the symbols. There are 4 different symbols the screens can have. We call that one rib cage.
Yep, rib cage seems to be a very common call out for that one.
Yes.
Not Grandma on a Tuesday.
That's the skull one. I like Grandma on a Tuesday. I don't mind that.
I do, yeah, I do.
So in the loot room here, you'll see all sorts of purple salvage, purple backpacks and stuff. I think what's really interesting about this. On any other map, people would have been fighting over those ballistic turbines.
And there's the dervish.
There's the dervish.
There it is.
And you can see it has a unique background. So it literally says unique in the background of the weapon.
It sure does. They made life easy for you there.
They did, yeah.
Now, speaking of unique stuff in Cryo, there's also some new red items that you can loot from it. This is Contraband, is its name, and there's a variety of bits and pieces you can get, some of which is locked behind boss fight, which we won't talk about just yet, but some of which is available a little earlier on. So we've got a little Contraband clip here.
Cool.
The first Contraband that people started pulling. This is downstairs in the control area.
Yeah, beneath the Panopticon.
Activate this once you have security clearance level 5. That is the gate for it. Opens up a secret cryo hatch, and inside is this. And if we can pause in a second here, just when they hover over it, wait for it. Boom!
Bam.
There you go. The compiler trace. This is worth 40,000 credits.
Yep.
And it's shared with the team.
Yeah, so effectively 120,000 credits worth of value to your team upon exfil. You can get it one team can get it every single match. And I mean 40k credits is enough to pay for multiple runs on Cryo.
Yeah.
So if you have even a spare 5 minutes at the end of your run to boost your security and you're confident, I would say always go for this item.
Yep.
And it's red because that means it is shared with your team on Expo.
Once the community learns that things are valuable, they all start fighting for those things. There's only one of these in the run.
Yeah.
You can't get 3 control hatches. Can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's going to end up being kind of similar to opening command in Outpost, where basically everyone is ultimately trying to get there for the potential pub. It's actually crazy in hindsight, trying to get a potential purple shield, and then you could just go into Cryo and just get Giga Gold.
There's just a purple shield in a random closet you unlock at security level 3.
Yeah, you like stub your toe, you look down, and like the dent that you've bumped into the cupboard or something has spit a purple shield out onto your toe.
Yeah.
Like it's it's everywhere, dude. It's under the floorboards. It's like behind the couch cushions. There's just gold shields no matter wherever you look. It's unreal. Speaking of getting shields and all sorts of stuff, there's an arsenal as well.
There's an arsenal.
And that has a bunch of extra loot in it as well. And the barrier to entry in the arsenal is lower than the barrier to entry for this hatch that we've just seen. So this is us actually opening the arsenal ourselves on stream. So hey, that's me.
World's first non-dev from inside Bungie Studios to open the arsenal?
We should find more of those scanning.
Don't know.
It's going.
I have no way of knowing.
It's going in the Twitter bio.
Okay.
We've got big loot.
Oh, let's go. This is the arsenal room. So you've got lots of these strong boxes here.
Those are all valuables on the left and right side.
Yep. And you got a gold valuable.
That gold spawns every time.
I've got 5 signal jammers at that point, if we can pause it on the inventory. Like, just being on a triage, right? And being able to be carrying 5 advanced mechanics kits, which I've got there, and my OS reboot, and I've got 2 energy amps, and I've got so many heals and pancake kits, and look at the grenades that I've got, dude. Like,
he just found those from bots.
Yeah, like I looted Scarrow's body. It was awesome.
Okay.
So getting access to all of the kit that Marathon has to offer, very, very fun. So the Arsenal is an amazing space, but there was a problem, right? Towards the beginning of people's first few runs of Cryo, they were getting lost. Because people were getting lost, exfilling was something which the community really had a little bit of trouble with, right? And there were a variety of reasons for this. One is that the initial run that everyone had, there was a bug which Bungie then live stamped out by the time everyone did their second run, which was like, I was shocked by.
Yeah,
it was very, very quick that bug was immediately gone.
Yeah, and people didn't lose loot because of it.
And they didn't lose loot, which was great. So it essentially meant that everyone just had a free first Cryo run.
Yep.
Which honestly is quite a nice thing to have when the map is so punishing when you die.
Yep.
So the first exfil, there was a little bit of confusion from that, but then there was also confusion because people didn't understand the final exfil system, and the base exfil system also is just different to the rest of the maps.
Yeah.
It's a wholly different system. So we've got a clip here of an exfil that we're going to show you. This is a successful exfil, I believe. Let's double check that on the tape. Oh yeah, it's us. We would never fail.
Huge.
So this is our successful exfil.
Oh, look at that beautiful Vandal cannon.
Yep, absolutely gorgeous stuff. And what we've done here is we've had to run across the whole map. It's given us 3-ish minutes to book it from a terminal that we had to use to activate the exfil, and then we're finally getting there. We're in the frost at this point, I'm pretty sure, so we're kind of getting out as fast as we possibly can, but that's our successful exfil. So we did start to kind of figure those things out. The community was mostly being successful. I did see some absolute howlers from people getting lost in corridors.
Yeah.
It was a very unfortunate kind of...
There was some quality banter yesterday for sure. It was,
yeah, absolutely.
Man, people, especially some of them on the sides of the on the map, so I guess the top and bottom of the map, require you to drop underneath control and go under. And I don't think people kept trying to go up, and they were getting lost in movie theaters and stuff, so...
Yeah. It's tricky, though, as well, because when the exfil icon is on your level, you don't think, oh, maybe I need to go up and then down.
Yeah.
And in this map, you just may have to do that.
Yeah.
So...
And there's times in the spawns, the corners of the map, where you have to go up and then up.
Yeah.
And it's like... I have to go up twice.
Yeah.
Gamers don't look up.
No, I'm like a pig. My neck doesn't go back that far. It's just not possible. So, with that said, speaking of truffle pigs, we were also sniffing out AI subroutines all day. So AI subroutines are in vaults, but they are not always in vaults. And this is something that we'll chat about more a little later, I think. We will have a little bit of chatter on that particular point.
Yep.
But initially, the community basically knew that they were looking for AI subroutines, but they didn't know exactly what they would be contained within, where they would be. We just knew that they would be tied to vaults in some way, right? And so then early on, when we started getting some of those vault solves, we started seeing some of our first subroutines showing up. So we've got a clip here, which we can pull to. I believe this is Parker, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, was playing with Shroud. And Parker is going to see the AI subroutine on a table. It's basically a little disc. And so there's a bit of looting first, but then just seconds later, there it is. On the table, you see the AI subroutine. He's going to ping it there. And that was the target item of all of the teams. These subroutines are all tied to vaults. So...
And they're unique to their specific vault.
Vault 2 has the second subroutine, for instance. We've then got some vaults which are harder to get into, and they also have potentially got subroutines inside. So this particular vault, Vault 2, nobody really struggled with. Vault 2 was actually a kind of cakewalk for people to get their subroutine from, for the most part.
Is that how that works?
But not for everyone.
Yeah. I ran with my team 6 Vault 1s yesterday. And we didn't get the Vault 1. I was trying to get caught up so we could do maybe some compiler shenanigans on stream today.
Yeah.
And we spent the entire night trying to get Vault 1 AI subroutine.
We will talk about this more, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think that is something that is going to probably be quite a big point of discussion as we go through this, because of a lot of the drama that ensued due to the nature of the subroutines.
Yep.
And speaking of which, our next clip here that we won't pull to just yet, but we'll get there in a second, is the beginning of that drama.
Yeah. Oh, one thing that we should mention is you only need to get the subroutines in exfil once for each specific vault. They're not a consumable. They're a valuable. They're auto sold on pickup or on exfil, and you get a codex entry for that specific AI subroutine. And in order to do Vault 7, the DNA sequencer, the compiler, all of that, you just need to exfil with all 6 of the AI subroutines once.
Before we can really start talking about the play-by-play of like final solvey things, I want you guys to understand the context going into Cryo and the state of people's vaults.
Yeah.
How many keys did you have?
I had like 20 keys.
Thank you. That works.
Maybe 15.
You know, honestly,
maybe 15. My team probably had 25 teams.
How many Vault 6 keys did you have?
My team, who have 2 of them are above level 100. I'm almost there. I have the only red key.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the context going in. This guy has 120 hours in the game in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, my team probably has a combined close to 450, 500 hours.
There you go.
And we have 1 red key.
Let's call it 500 hours in the game, 1 red key.
Yep.
Right? Absurd low chances. Absurdly low. That's Scarrow's team, and they know what they're doing. There are obviously teams out there that are less experienced with Marathon. They might not have 500 hours of the game in 2 weeks, and they also were really, really struggling to get those red keys. So what you have as an environment going into this mass hunt, this community expedition towards the compiler, is the knowledge that we need a key for each vault in order to make progress, but also the knowledge that pretty much every team had 1 shot at Vault 6. If they used that Vault 6 key and it did not give them what they needed, they would be basically out of the race unless they could figure out some other way to get a Vault 6 key while everybody else was solving, which is an even more stressful feat to try to achieve.
Yeah.
Some teams worked so hard, did their 500 hours of setup, just like Scarrow's team did, and they still didn't get a red key, which is the Vault 6 key. If we say red key, we mean Vault 6 key.
And red is also contraband rarity.
Yes. What that meant is that they were doing other vaults, but with the knowledge that this whole time, if they didn't get that red key drop, they just could not progress any further.
Yep.
And one of the teams this happened to was Snazzy. Snazzy's team had so much prep done, so much practice done, and yet they didn't have a red key, and they were relying on pure chance to try and earn one in Raid during the Cryo weekend. And this first clip here was the cinematic moment when he extracted with another type of key, which you can get from the vaults, and which then splits into a random key drop for each of you and your teammates once you exfil with it. And so if we pull to the clip here, we'll see what he got.
Notably, if you go down, though, while you have this, it breaks, and this doesn't work. So they successfully got out with this key fragment.
I got it. Red key.
No way!
I'm not capping.
No way! No way!
I'm not capping. I actually got it.
No way!
I got the red key.
No way!
It's a red key.
No way! Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see how many keys are in the in the vault here.
And they've been running all day at this point.
And none of those keys are red.
Yeah.
And they finally got their red key in a complete stroke of luck. And if we go to this next clip also, we can go straight into this one. This is a little bit more of their thinking of as to what they were going to do next at this stage.
Science team access code.
Let's still get 5 out of the way. No,
yes. We wait and do 5, I think.
We need to do some research on science team access code. We need to find out where that shit is.
Okay, so let's pause it there. Context. At this stage in the hunt, there had been lots of teams making progress on subroutines, but we had a few teams that were really kind of pulling ahead.
Yeah.
Snazzy's team was one of those teams, and Tyrax's team was one of those teams.
Yep.
They each ended up having 4 subroutines to their name. And remember, they need 6 subroutines, then they can focus on Vault 7 and the Big Bad Boss. So they got their 4 subroutines each, and they then had this figuring out to do of, do we get the Vault 6 one done now and then go back and do the other one we're missing? Or do we do the other one we're missing and then just hope and pray that this red key gives us the subroutine when we get there? So Snazzy's team decide in this clip to go back and get Vault 5. And they did that, and they succeeded. So they ended up with nothing standing in their way other than the subroutine from Vault 6. There is a moment on the stream from last night where we saw Snazzy's team load in with their key.
They were fully kitted.
It was so stressful. Just good.
Let me come in with you guys.
Look at our You reactions don't have here. time.
Hazard capsule.
Hazard capsule, don't care. Subroutine.
And they are in the final vault. They have just completed it. They're looting.
No.
No.
That's a security tag. That's not a subroutine.
Bungie, no, Bungie.
No, I'm actually going to cry.
Bungie, no.
There's no way. They put all that work in. They had the worst possible start getting so delayed. Is it in one of the crates?
No, Bungie.
No.
There's other keys.
No.
That is heartbreaking.
No way.
Vent here,
Okay,
maybe?
pick up this.
What are they getting killed by?
What's that?
What cracked you?
It's my virus, dude. I didn't realize it's out.
Okay. Insanity.
way,
They didn't get the
There's a vent here, Maybe it
subroutine.
goes deeper. I don't know. There's a vent here. We can check.
It's worth checking. It could be on a table in a different room. You never know.
It was not on the table in a different room.
3 minutes,
We
50
did know.
seconds.
So that's probably good for the
Yeah,
clip.
this is MGM.
But yeah, so this team that had awful luck finally had a come up moment, and then just got kicked while they were down.
Watching it back makes me just upset all over again for them. So the story then, Snazzy's team were having to then go back and farm, doing run after run just to try and get another red key. As a result of that, we started to see the other teams that we were mentioning earlier on pulling ahead. So Tyrax's team was the first team to get to get through getting their 6th subroutine and then get through the fairly simple process, I would say. It's not too bad to get into Vault 7.
Yeah, which requires crafting like a DNA sequence or something. It's kind of there's another key we discovered live yesterday that as you are looting the vaults 1 through 6, there's a random chance to get another key called the DNA sequence key or something like that. And this key is a one-time use. You have to use it for after you get all 6 subroutines. There's then a machine that spawns in various parts of the map that you have to then use this 7th elusive key that's also purple rarity. It's not like obvious that it's super important to then craft a DNA sequence for a chance to then go into Vault 7.
Yeah. And I think the thing that was extra dramatic actually about that DNA access key is that teams were finding it and ignoring it because they didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So when it first started getting talked about on stream, people were saying, oh, Shroud's had that for like 2 hours and like he's just been like discarding them. Like it's just trash, right? Like this key card with a mysterious name is just useless, right? Duh. My goodness. So that was something that I think a lot of people were overlooking for a little while.
Yep.
But we then started to see teams kind of catch on, and there was a very cool kind of back and forth between, while Snazzy's team was kind of in the running, Snazzy's team, but then also Tyrax's team, Salt's team were pushing up there. We saw a couple of others, and like I said, the first team to get through all of that stuff was Tyrax's team, and Team Tyrax got to Vault 7 for the first time.
Over here, Vault 7.
Okay.
It's open. Let's go, batteries. Put the
Oh no, we need. Oh fuck.
I have batteries. I have batteries.
Oh,
So they're putting their batteries in, and then they're going to have to remember
do we need more
swipe their
coolant?
card.
No, I have none.
No, we don't need
It takes 8. It only takes 8. It only takes 8.
Yeah, but I need it for this though.
I think we're good. Just put all your batteries in.
Oh, there's a tick nest right above him. I don't think you saw it.
Yeah, that thing was gooping down from the ceiling.
Thank
This is
God.
Bravo's perspective.
Oh, the lever? Log access credentials?
There you
Oh,
go. There's a
shit.
scan.
It's time.
Oh shit!
Get ready, lock in.
Enter the vault!
And look how kitted they are. Gold shields.
Oh shit!
Gold.
They were ready.
They were, yeah.
Cinema!
You know what is not ready
Cinema.
about this run, though?
The timer.
The timer. Absolutely. So this is
Oh,
our
shit.
first time ever seeing this,
God,
chat.
it's-
Look at that mysterious
wild
green
in
light.
here,
You see
bro.
that?
Yeah. Nobody at this stage had been in this room. Nobody had seen that green
I see
light.
that.
Nobody knew where to go. So they're mantling here in a bungee
dude, I
jump
don't know,
puzzle
bro.
style,
bro.
trying to figure things out. And we're just going to let this play because the story of
reset?
the next few minutes begins to sort of set the
I think
tone
we-
for
I think we just reset.
what's happening.
We have a minute 40, bro. It's so cooked.
So they saw the light
Also,
at the end of the
don't wanna
tunnel,
lose the
quite
full goal.
literally, and turned around to just go and exfil. And I get it, right? They're running gold shields,
Yeah.
gold guns, gold goop, gold gear.
Wait for me.
And for them to risk that with only a minute left would have been a definite failure.
Yeah.
There's just no way they would have been able to get through that. This meant that in an unbelievable turn of events, Team Bog on My Dog, also known as my team, had gone from 0 subroutines when everyone else was on 4 to suddenly being matched with Tyrax's team.
Yeah.
They had all of their subroutines, and that meant that because Tyrax was leaving here, Bog was entering a run. It was Bog on My Dog, Ham, and Gary. Now, I was meant to be in that team because prior to coming here to Bungie, like 3 days ago, I didn't know that I was going to be busy, so I was planning to be playing with them.
Yeah.
So I've been practicing with Bog, I've been practicing with Gary. This had been something that we were really, really excited to try and solve and be part of. And so to see them come back in that way made me personally so excited.
And Ham's a crazy pull, by the way. That's you should feel honored to be replaced by.
Oh, absolutely.
that's
I mean, like,
It's like that's
he was a better pick any day of the week. I'm just there for the vibes.
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
So the challenge that they faced is, bear in mind, Tyrax's team has just exfilled, which means that Bog's team has a chance. If they, in this run, can successfully get through to that boss fight, they might be able to clear it. and kind of get the glory of figuring it out for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Sadly, as we're seeing in this clip here, they're not at the boss fight. Instead, they seem to be in some kind of gunfight with another team. Bog is... he was doing this a lot yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Bog.
Listen.
Gotta work on it.
That's Ham saying, Bog, you got to work on it.
Yeah. He didn't even try. He just ran right into it. This instrument on the right here, this is the DNA sequencer.
Yep.
You need this to start Vault 7.
Yeah, and so what they're having trouble with here is that they are doing this interact to start Vault 7, but they are about to get third-partied by another team. And that third-party fight lasted 10 whole minutes. It was so dreadful for them. It shut them down so much, and it meant that this run ended up being chalked. It was really, really unfortunate. If we can skip forward maybe 3 or 4 minutes here, what we're going to see is, in the fight, Bog gets taken out. Ham gets taken out, and they end up in this exact scenario that we're seeing here. This is perfect. Is just Gary left alive, and Gary is trying his absolute best to, in some way, shape, or form, salvage this run.
Yeah.
The bots are just aping
It was
you.
really hard to watch, knowing that their opportunity to reach the boss first was slipping through their grasp because they happened to be stuck in PvP.
Yeah.
That's the tale of Cryo, honestly. But it happened here, and it was really tragic. Meanwhile, Tyrax's team is obviously loading back into their next run. They're back where they were before.
And it looks like they have 7 or 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes.
They've got a little bit more time, and we're gonna see them get into the space here, and we're gonna watch this for a moment to see how this proceeds.
This is such a classic Bungie jump puzzle too. Like,
Yep.
through a confined space, bunch of ticks.
With a bunch of random goop attacking you.
I guess the tick part isn't classic.
The lights
Bungie,
as
but
well, the way that you go through that particular right-hand side vent and it's lit green in that way.
Yeah.
It's
Nope,
so
we're going
Bungie.
uphill.
I love the fact that Bungie's
Ladder.
design philosophy has come through, despite the fact that it's a new game that we're all playing.
Yeah.
I'm out of stam. Just go.
Yeah. Good luck doing this on freaking. On Recon, by the way. On Recon, by the way. No way. I'm gonna mess up one of these jumps for sure.
They're going through the puzzle here, and bear in mind, chat, this is the first time this has been seen.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yep.
would have to climb crazy far up to Griefos.
They're also concerned about the fact that there is another team left in their lobby at this stage,
On me, I think.
so they're still pushing through. And then this is the moment where they step into the pre-boss room for the first time.
Oh, yeah, this is the room. This is the room, I think. Kill all the bugs. Kill all the bugs.
Alright, I don't have ult yet, brother. You can ult first.
I don't either. Popping energy amp. There's a room on our left here. Is it open? Okay.
Yeah, it's open. Activate exfil. We have an exfil up here.
So they're trying to figure out what's going on in the room.
And resupply lockers. This is
What were
the
you thinking when you
pre-boss
first saw
fight to
this?
get supplies.
Okay.
When they started opening these
Get on those,
chests
extra shields.
and it's just like ammo and heals, I was like, oh no. Oh, this is about to be one of those.
Yeah. But bear in mind, if you look at his ammo count here, he did come prepared, right?
He's got a lot.
He's got 500 shots in his gun. So
Yeah.
you'd think, and maybe you guys in the chat would agree, right? You'd think that the amount of ammo that he's got would be sufficient, right?
Yep.
You'd think that.
Clearly not.
What we're about to see is something very different. So
Yep.
we're just going to let this clip play because honestly, I
Holy
think that
fucking
you
shit.
need the full context
Activate
here of
airlock.
this run.
Are we all
Yeah.
in?
First ever time fighting the boss. You have to go through this little airlock.
And keep in mind, these are world's first raiders for
Holy
Destiny.
shit.
Yes.
They have one
Cinema.
world's first. So some of them.
Straight cinema.
No, I think. Oh yeah. So they have
Oh,
world's first
God.
belts. They are very familiar with Bungie style mechanics.
Wait, look.
This is their
On the-
thought
on the side
process,
here. We
seeing
have
this for the
symbols, we have
first time.
symbols.
Yep.
Grandma on a Tuesday, by the way.
It's
Grandma on a
it's
Tuesday.
eyes. Wait, we don't know what to use though. No damage. Like,
So they're trying to figure out the mechanics. This is their first time in the space.
Maybe at the start, there's no if you match. It's like the other vaults.
It's gonna be a matching game again. Won't.
And they're just running around, getting a feel.
Yep.
There's more symbols here. Like terminal.
Grandma on a Tuesday again.
Yep, there it is.
We need to know what we're putting in.
And so this is a nice thing about how Bungie
Both
designs
sides
its
have 4
puzzles,
terminals. There's 8 total that I've seen.
where you learn very early in encounters and maps and things they design mechanics, which then are resurfaced later
Yep.
and used in more complex and
Wait, there's terminals up here,
redeveloped
too.
and
There's 2 in the
redefined
middle.
ways.
Yep.
So
Can
we've
link
already
that, but
interacted
we
with
still
terminals
don't
in this
know.
map.
No, there's one
We've
in the
already
middle, I think.
matched
Oh, no,
patterns
there's
in
one
this
back
map.
there.
We've already shot green things to get rid of the
frost.
The frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know.
And all of those
no, there's
features
more than I
return,
counted. There's
but
more.
in a way that is under more
Oh, yeah.
pressure and requires you to use what you've learned to your advantage.
Oh, I guess we should kind of comment about the compiler too. Like, yeah,
should.
we're doing all these things, but there's this giant red guy chasing you around, shooting lasers at you. It's kind of rude, honestly. Like,
Yep, and bees as well. Those bees, those green bees,
Yeah.
they're pretty painful too. You'll see certain people going down. For example, Tyrax taking it down there.
Yeah.
Because when you're interacting with a terminal, you can't cover your back,
not
like I was
seeing the
mentioning
skulls.
earlier.
Yeah.
And that means
yeah,
that you're really in a
I'll res.
compromised position
You
if
got-
the
you got all
bees
of them,
are going to start attacking you. That beam then is also going to do tons of damage.
Like, we're just trying to get loot. I don't know why this guy's being so rude, though. You know what I
know,
mean?
he could
Like,
have just let us walk past.
yeah, like, it doesn't have to be like this, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So bear in mind, chat, they entered this boss fight around 9 minutes remaining in their run. They're still pushing to try and understand the base mechanic
No,
here,
there's no way.
and they're down to 4 minutes 55 seconds. So time is really ticking, and they've done 0 damage to boss.
I haven't seen another skull.
There's a lot, trust me. I'm pressing the second skull.
Do you know what the skull symbol is they're talking?
Look for another skull.
They don't call it Grandma on a Tuesday, they call it Skull.
Fake fans.
Yeah.
So they're looking
see
for,
it.
they have decided their approach is to hit all of the same symbol,
Yep.
That was a skull over
of which there are 3. There are 4 types of symbols. Each one is on 3 separate monitors, so 12 monitors total. And when they hit all 3, they notice this green bubble.
Yes.
Wait, there's more.
So this was unfortunately something they didn't really figure out immediately.
Yep.
There's a green sphere around them now, and they're shooting the box,
Wait.
thinking that that's what they have to do. Sadly,
Oh, yeah, maybe it's-
his shots at boss there weren't
Holy
accurate
shit,
enough,
bro.
and so despite the fact that he was in green sphere,
Yeah.
he happened to not hit the one place where that would have done boss
orb.
damage. The mechanic, which they would
It
shortly
gives you like a
learn,
damage phase.
requires them to break open the boss's cape, which is done by shooting its central kind of chest sphere,
Yep,
chest
yep, yep.
ball, while you're standing in the green
room.
aura. And then, once the cape is
oh,
popped
no,
open,
I'm
then
getting
you can
farmed
just
by
do
something.
regular
Oh, I think
damage.
I'm good.
Yes.
But you
I got
can't
one right.
beforehand, and so they need to figure that out. 3 minutes left in the run. This is still their first boss attempt, and they don't know exactly what to do to make it happen.
Yeah, and I think they are really concerned about these bees
He's on
because
me,
they
I think.
are absolutely cooking them when they hit them. Then we're calling the green floaty balls
I'm hitting it,
bees.
I'm
That's
hitting
like
it, I'm
a,
hitting it.
it's pretty common
Input's
Destiny
frozen, input's
terminology.
Yep.
Things
I
that
just went
fly.
down accident.
That's rib
I'm on
cage.
it.
I probably would have called it noodles, but rib cage works.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's up, it's up.
One of
So
the
we
two.
stand on this, you're saying?
So I am curious about I want a closer look at some point of whatever this is, because
Oh, you have to shoot his crate.
I'm not
shoot
sure
his
if that's
crate.
supposed to be like Durandal helping you or some Ghostbusters stuff.
Just real quick, so that was them discovering boss damage.
Yes.
So
not
a
getting-
very big, important revelation for their future runs. And
Spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, I think that doing damage now is also important. to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
fair.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they're aware of what they need to do here. Did you think they were going to clear on this run?
No.
Oh, can you elaborate?
Yeah, well, I mean, they only have 2 minutes left.
No, that's kind of rude, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
sorry. I
is
thought
it just
they,
a time thing?
yeah, if the wardens are any indication, these bosses are going to have a lot of health, and what I was unsure of at this point, watching it, observing it, I guess kind of
one
casting
shot.
it, is this the type of boss that has a set amount of health? Is this
I self-
infinite
I self-
DPS
I self.
phases, and they need to find out how to do enough damage, or is this 4 or 3 or 4 different DPS phases that you need to do sufficient damage to move on to the next
healing, I'm
phase?
healing. Yep,
So
yep.
is that
Hollow orbs on
once
you.
you break open his chest and he's got his cape wings kind of fluttering out, Do you have infinite time then to do damage to then push it to the next
Bro,
phase?
what?
Or do you have a set amount of time
Why
to
not
do
break
a certain
that?
amount of damage, and eventually you will do enough damage to kill it? And that's what I
one cell
was trying to
first?
spend,
That's so brief.
trying to dig into a little bit as they were doing this. And I would be very surprised
in
if
the
that
bubble,
sort of
by the
thing
way,
was
Brady,
also
you gotta
not
be
going through
careful,
their
I
head.
think. Or maybe
Here
on the
you can
outside,
see
I
they
can't
are getting
tell.
absolutely destroyed by these beasts. They are out of
resin.
self-reses. They are
Yes,
going
yes, just go
to
to it.
slowly run out of bubble shields, which provide a temporary safe haven, as you can see, to get res.
There's
But this
outside
boss
bubble.
is, even on gold shields, it's like 3 or 4 shot for these bees. And during DPS, the boss is shooting out like 20 of them. And they aren't the easiest things in the world to shoot.
Yeah.
So,
So what they're going to do here is they're going to recognize we don't have time, and they're going to test something, right? Which was a ballsy move, but I respect the hell out of it. They're going to do a little bit more damage, and let's just watch what happens here. There you go. They broke that cape open. They're getting annihilated by bees.
and the boss is still shooting them with his head laser too.
Yep. 20 seconds left.
And I'm starting to realize don't use the thermal on this boss
Yep. Yeah.
because you just see red.
Oh, he's meleeing me.
And then when the phase ends, he does a little heat attack similar to Scouts.
Get back in there. Get back in the AirPod. Get back in the AirPod. Get back in the AirPod. We might be able to survive.
So this was an interesting call that they made.
There are 4 seconds left on the clock.
There are 4 seconds left. Can they get back in the airlock? Right? Now, if I recall correctly, they are unsuccessful in this particular instance, and they wipe here, right? Because their time is just too
getting farmed, bro,
short.
like-
They don't have a way out. I mean, we're going to watch it because I can't recall exactly what
No,
happened.
I think. Do they not make it out?
I don't know.
I think they make it out.
Did they make it? Let's see.
You can't go back down. Oh, no, you can.
They certainly try,
Just gonna use the right
but
one.
do they wipe to time? Do they wipe to
We
time?
deactivate
Let's
this
see.
by like 15 seconds probably.
Bear in mind, chat, no one's done this before, so no one knows if you can even go backwards. But what they did know is that there is an activate exfil panel just there, and they didn't know where that was going to spawn. But very luckily for them, okay, they do
my
make it
God.
out.
They do make it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god, we're alive.
15 seconds left.
With 5 seconds to go once this time's over, they
Yeah.
make it out.
True, because
Wait.
you have to activate it with at least
Yeah,
10
I'm gonna switch it
seconds
after.
left.
Yeah.
So
They make it out with their best loot because they knew they were running a gauntlet to access the
Yeah.
boss. So now at this point,
These guys
what's
dead?
going through their heads with Destiny raids, whenever you are on a final boss, you just start and you can just rip attempts over and over and over again. What is absolutely going through Tyrax and Bravo's heads, especially because they've been in this sort of scenario, is
I don't have any other sites.
every other team now knows exactly what to
spawning so
expect
many,
because they
though,
just
like-
solved the mechanics for every other team.
Yep.
And so what's going through their head is we cannot delay. We need to get back in there ASAP because other teams that are close to this are going to understand how this works now.
and here is one of those teams, right?
Yes.
So this is Bog and Gary
I've got none.
and Ham. And this is their first time chasing, right? They've been under the impression that because Tyrex's team is left, they might be able to push in and get there.
Yes.
But they have 4 minutes left at this stage.
And what's really important to note for people watching, because this all happened last night, right? These were happening simultaneously.
Yep.
It was like as they exfil, this is happening. So they need a battery to open that door. They're missing a battery. They only have 4 minutes left. Now, for us knowers, because we're not in a run, well, this is discovered. We know this is clearly not going to be enough time. If they try to push on, they will die.
Anyway, they didn't have enough time, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Bravo's team, Tyrex's team, going back in. So Bog's team didn't have enough time. Bravo's team run it back, and they are thinking at this stage, well, we know how to do it, right? We've figured out the damage mechanic.
Yep.
We know we can leave if we absolutely have to.
They know how to get there with as much time as possible.
Yeah, so they just need to roll a lobby.
Yep.
And then they need to shoot the boss in the chest.
Send it. So we skipped forward to the boss fight here. They're at the boss fight
Do
with
spells.
2 or 3 more minutes than they had before. 11 and a half minutes.
Yep. And
see a
also
skull? I'm hitting one
with
skull.
much
yeah,
more
we gotta get
of
the
a
freeze out of the
clear
way.
plan.
Yes. Yeah, clear minds. They know what's going on. They don't have to cover up mechanics. They're starting with Grandma on a Tuesday, which is, I think that is a goated move, personally.
Yep.
I think here, actually, at this time, I bet my chat 10 gifted subs that they cleared on this run.
Yeah, there was a lot of expectation,
Stole my ping.
knowing how strong an execution team this is.
Take it off the gun.
Like, these guys might not be the team that you would assume would instantly solve
three right
like
here.
a
Get ready for damage.
big brain mechanic or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
but they would absolutely clear it on their first go once they knew how to do it.
Yeah, and especially like a mechanic that is, in theory, as easy to execute as this. Here, they're doing a throwback to Destiny. They popped the Ward of Dawn, and they got their weapons of light, which those are not mechanics in this game. So ignore me. And they are.
Pop-ult, Kyrax.
They tried to do damage, and they thought it would help them be safe from the beast. What happened is the compiler just walked into the bubble and was like, "Yeah, good luck, nerds."
Kind of ruined their strategy.
Yeah, they wasted that entire damage base.
Yeah. It's interesting because those bubbles are so effective in so much of the cryo space.
Yes.
It just so happens that the compiler doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He likes bubble raves for sure. He walks in and he's just like, "Yeah, I think I'm just gonna chill in here. It's kind of cool."
Guys, by the way.
So now they're going for you. I don't know the.
Me?
Yes, they're going for the U symbol. I don't know. You know, these symbols are all identical, so I'm just making conversation here. But I think personally, I go Grandma on a Tuesday, and then Star, and then Ribs, and then end with the U symbol.
Would you not just do the first one that you saw in the space?
Absolutely not. That has a 0 aura factor.
Really? 0 aura? Okay, fair enough.
yeah,
You're an aura-based gamer.
I do nothing if not for the vibes.
Okay.
Anyway, so they're in the green thing. They broke the chest really early on here, and
ribcage.
they are just absolutely laying it. And you can see he's using that heavy assault rifle.
Yep.
They're trying to focus as much on the chest as possible. They're having to shoot these beasts.
Damage.
In a game like Destiny, what you would normally do is you have 2 people focusing on symbols, 1 person focusing on beasts, and then you have 2 people focus on DPS and 1 person focus on
Let's
beasts.
do the spike
You have
one,
a survivability
like the
person, and you have
X
2 people whose main jobs are
I'm gonna be,
to execute.
I don't know the spiky
At
one.
this point, they have only very vaguely assigned those roles.
Yeah, and it is problematic for them.
I gotta pop buffs. I
Super
have to pop
problematic
buffs.
because
Yeah,
they're all 3 trying to juggle both things at the same time.
It's like hard to break them. Straight on.
And I think the stress was just getting to
Probably
them
max buffs.
because normally
shouldn't
that would
start
be the
damage
first
till
thing
IMO.
a
We have
team
plenty
like
of
this does is divvy up roles and
much time
build
on
into
your
those
roll,
roles.
Darks?
Yep.
And so you can see they start to, especially later in this run, they start to really struggle
mine in a minute,
while
so-
they're scanning symbols. They start to really struggle with the
over here.
beast because they're getting animation locked. No one is on set B duty
Yeah.
or green
There's
ball
next right here.
duty, and it just starts to knock them
doing
and
next.
waste their ammo. We could probably skip a couple minutes forward here.
Yeah, let's go like another 2 minutes forward in this clip if we can. And what we're going to see towards the end of their
Okay, where are we at?
their
Where are we
run.
I would say probably another 2 minutes.
Let's not go too far because
Okay.
there's a key detail I want to point out. In this particular run, it became an ammo issue.
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to
So-
get. So you can see he still has about 130 shots
Things
here.
reset, by the way. I
And
saw you.
they're going to start talking about it.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
fact that
do use. I'm hitting one right now.
this
You
weapon,
start
for
using the bubbles
example, has
on the terminals,
0
please,
bullets in
okay?
reserve. He hasn't
Pop
got
bubble on
anything that
terminal.
he can reload with in this gun.
Yep.
His other gun has a
even have 2
little,
left.
but he's really running low.
Yeah.
And when your team needs to shoot bees,
I have 80 shots.
and you're,
I have
oh,
80 shots.
there you go. They're talking about it.
28 shots or something.
And he had to drop his ammo, his very short, small reserves, excuse me,
Let's just do one more damage phase. We can
for
do
his
one
team.
more
And
damage
they're
phase.
saying,
If
hey,
that
we have
doesn't
enough
kill it,
ammo,
then
push through, try to kill this.
cooked.
That is the
Look for the use. Look for
That's
use.
the Raider mentality right there. We need to push through.
Cleared a lot
You
of
are
this
going to be
side.
limited. That's how these things are designed.
Yeah.
you have
We need to push
shotgun?
through.
And I think those are some of the coolest moments
shotgun
in
then.
just gaming period
Yeah.
when a team is trying to clear something and they know that there are other teams hot on their heels and they say like, we have to force here, we have to push it.
Yeah.
There is no turning
don't see
back.
any use, so
We
it's gotta be,
send
like-
everything, every last bit of your kit that you've got, you pop now.
Yes.
Those moments are such
That's
cinema.
damage,
I
damage,
love
damage.
them
Go middle,
so
go middle.
much.
I think that was one of the downfalls of this run is there was a lot of hesitation from certain members of the team, and I think that the hesitation
I'm greeting.
caused them to waste more ammo
surprised.
on the bees
You get in and
because
finish them
you
off
are
again?
wasting time doing the main mechanics and not
Yep.
pushing the fight forward. And so eventually what happens here is they run out of ammo.
Yeah.
I think Bravo is the last person with
Christ.
ammo on this team in anything but his shotgun. You can see they're constantly being knocked. They're going to end up running out of bubble shields. And with the compiler likely towards the end of his health bar.
Yeah.
Because they've done 4 damage phases here.
Yeah.
The symbols have reset. They make the decision to back out.
They do. So it could have been that one extra stack of ammo on each of them could have meant they got the clear.
Yeah.
At this stage.
Exactly.
Like, really could have come down to that. There isn't an on-screen health bar, so we don't know.
Yeah.
But it may have been the case.
Wait, we could just play the
So
airlock more now.
what we can do now is we can go to the next clip that we've got queued up. So this is them leaving.
They leave, they end up exfil. They go back to the last room, which you can do mid-fight. We actually don't know if you can then enter the compiler fight again. I assume you might be able to.
And we can skip forward this clip to the boss as well. It looks like this maybe all of these are a little early, but if we can skip this forward to boss, yeah, you can exfil. What was your question? Sorry.
So you can leave. You can go into the compiler fight, and then you can leave. I don't know if then you can go back in, or if there's any penalty for doing that.
Unsure.
Yeah,
Unsure.
I did not see any teams do that. So this is Bog's team.
And if we listen here,
Dude.
yeah,
Are we serious?
this was chaotic.
Get the boss away from here.
This was chaotic.
And this is another team. So this is another team that has like very, very good. Ham is a world's first raider. Bog commonly scouts for world's first teams. And yet they have not assigned
think so,
roles.
unless we hit that
And
one.
so usually you have a guy, once again, or a teammate who's shooting the bees or doing whatever, but that also deals with the boss. You kind of kite the boss over to different areas of the map. All 3 of these people are trying to do the mechanics.
Well, they don't all think that that's what's happening actually.
Okay.
So Ham is thinking that he is on B's duty because Ham is world first raider practiced.
Yes.
Right. So he's thinking, I have an assigned role.
Yes.
I am B guy. Bog and Gary in this moment don't have the hot seat experience of being a world first raider in
Yeah.
Destiny.
Yep.
Bog has coached, but it's very different playing
Yeah.
coaching. So what's happening is Ham has those instincts, and Ham's like IGLing is so incredible.
Yeah.
He's so locked in. It's so fun playing with him, honestly, because he just makes sure everyone else in the team knows exactly what they need to do at all times while doing his job. He's got so much multitasking skill.
Yeah.
But Ham is doing his role. Bog and Gary think that each of them are all going to hit one terminal, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, because if one person sees 2 terminals, why wouldn't they just hit?
Why wouldn't they just hit it? Yeah.
But they've got confusion about this, so I'm actually telling them here to get out.
Yeah, because there's only 2 minutes left, and they just did their first damage phase.
It's been too messy.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, there's always the uncertainty for all of these types of things. Is there a final stand? What sort, especially with Marathon, where you need to exfil? What does post boss look?
Yeah. Now, I want to keep this clip going for a moment here, because I think it's going to give an interesting insight into the mentality. There's so much pressure on these teams.
Yeah.
And so I'm telling them here, like I'm talking to the guys on Discord, basically saying what Tyrax just did a minute ago.
Yeah.
And saying like, Tyrax was much more locked in than you guys. Like, there's no way that you would have had time in 2 minutes to get this clear. So
Yeah.
you might as well just reset. So let's listen. If I recall correctly, Bog is going to start sort of reflecting on what went wrong, and there's a little conversation that I want to see if we can try and catch here. So let's listen in.
I started doing a terminal, and then I saw someone was on top of me, so I left the terminal. And then they didn't continue that terminal, so it was just miscommunication, and we just, like, that was the terminal that we missed. I saw that someone was going to it, so I left it.
So this, Bog, let me coach you here. It's done, it's happened,
Yeah.
reset. As long as we have clear comms for this next run, you guys are going to be fine.
It's
if you have a
free.
B shooter, you're chilling. It's actually free. Once you get the rhythm of the fight down, it doesn't look like there's any crazy complex mechanics beyond what you've just seen. So you just need to execute. You're pure execution now. I've played a lot with Bog.
Yep.
I can hear the emotion in his voice there.
He's a very excitable person.
He's very excitable, but also I think he really felt like he was on the brink of getting it.
Yeah.
I think that in his heart, he felt like he just kind of lost an opportunity there.
Yeah.
That he was very excited for and had been working for very hard. And that's going to be soul crushing, right? So
Yeah.
obviously in the moment, it's going to be easy to say, oh, man, this went wrong and that went wrong. And I was doing this and then this happened and I couldn't do the thing that I was trying to do. And like, oh my God. And that's why I jumped in and was just like, we have to just move on here, Bog. I think that the right mindset will help you out there. And speaking of cinema, we're now going to cut to the final attempt that Bravo's team made, and we're going to take a look at how that went. Despite the fact that Bog's team had failed before them, and then before then, despite the fact that they'd been in the fight and run out of ammo, and they therefore had no idea how much damage the boss would actually need in order to take down.
And look at this. They've dropped all of their ammo, communed it in the elevator.
Yep.
Or the airlock. They dropped
the thing that ruined their run last time was a lack of ammo. So they locked in and they brought pretty much only ammo.
And specifically, they didn't just bring loads of stacks of stuff, but they also changed their loadouts. So initially, they were all using light ammo weapons. Heavy ammo weapons, sorry, yep, correct. And
let me res you, don't waste the self-res.
If there's one ammo crate, it's only got heavy for one person.
Yep.
So what they've instead done is they've changed it up so that some people are now using weapons with vault batteries. Those vault batteries stack so much more efficiently for ammo than especially heavy weapons, actually. I feel like heavy weapons are maybe the least ammo efficient in the whole game.
I would say MIPS, but then heavy very soon after that.
Yes, yeah. And so much less likely that you would be using MIPS, I guess, in these fights anyway. You're going to be burning through those lights and those heavies very fast. So what they're doing is they're saying, we're going to have some people on vault ammo. We're going to have other people on light ammo, other people on heavy, and we are going to stack ammo crates. So they were bringing in higher rarity ammo crates, not just the gray ones that have hardly anything in them.
And see, they make the mistake of doing the bubble here again, by the way.
They do, and he calls it out again. He's like, okay, bad bubble, he's not going to do that again.
We can't bubble like that.
Yeah, they are.
That's their very first damage phase, and they still have 8 minutes. And see, they're just plinking away with the volley rifle here.
Yep, and that was great. That was honestly a great damage phase.
Yeah.
That was very clean for the most part.
Yeah,
so,
especially despite the bubble,
for
exactly.
now on, do not start this. We're not starting it until he's like out of the middle substantially.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're also adapting as they go along. And listen to how calm they are.
Yep.
Compared to the emotion that was in Bog's voice before, these guys are
going for ammo.
Just cucumbers. Through.
Do you next, okay?
Nothing but cucumber. So they're working through here. They've got those ammo crates. They've dropped them all down in the airlock. They know that that's a spot that they can be a little safer in.
There's a U on the far right side of me.
They're keeping doing their terminals.
They have one person dealing with Bs, 2 people dealing with with terminals.
One U down.
Yep. They're being very, very careful, very, very slow. Just taking all the time they know they have.
Holy shit, they're in. Crazy style.
Crazy style, he says. Okay, yep.
And I would like to point out that more and more teams started switching to Destroyer for the extra DPS of the rockets as well. Destroyer's kind of the PvE king in this game. In fact, as the weekend went on, more and more people started using Destroyer for this map. As I say, as the weekend, as the 24 hours went on, more and more people use Destroyer because it's just this map just really favors the Mjolnir armor and what it can do, which is very fitting.
I don't know if that really worked exactly,
since this was sort of the character or the setup of the character in the first game.
I have three.
Right.
First trilogy, yeah.
Nice. So keep in mind, I want it to be clear. This is a moment where chat is going insane.
Yeah.
These guys sound in the VOD like nothing is going on.
Yeah.
They sound like this is just...
We're going insane.
They're visiting their grandma on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, chat's going ballistic, right? I'm going ballistic. You're going ballistic.
Yeah.
We are casting this because the production team have shut down for the day in the official Bungie studio. We've gone into the Bungie closet, and we are doing our best to shoutcast this as it all comes to this sort of finale here. They're in a damage phase. It's not the cleanest phase in the world. They're still using their thermals.
Yeah, it's definitely. It looks cool in thermal, but
oh my god, he's fucking dead.
He certainly is.
Oh fuck.
So they don't know if there's going to be another phase. They don't know if the boss is going to turn into a giant tick. But they do see that room at the back open up, and they see this goop.
And they see they have 4 minutes left. Tyrax looted it and got a compiler Ganglia. So they're in essentially the boss room loot, and they're getting all sorts of golds. What they find here is there is a secret hidden gun.
Biotoxic disinjector,
which is a sick name.
Yeah,
that is a sick name. It is not a gold prestige weapon. It is a red contraband, half alien technology, half human technology weapon.
Yep.
That shoots goop, a laser beam.
Laser goop.
Gee, I thought they killed the boss for the first time. They got this awesome gun that we had no idea existed. A hidden like essentially secret rarity gun.
This meant the compiler had been taken down. We hadn't seen any other team do that. There was nobody streaming that had shown a successful boss completion, and the only other team I'd even seen in the arena was Bog's team. And as we saw, they unfortunately just didn't quite have the loadouts to get it killed. That meant we were celebrating Tyrax, Noxious, and Bravo as the first people to get that done, which was a big achievement. However, there's no API or anything that I've been told about or I'm aware of that we can point to for that. So it's just going off basically what my eyeballs saw.
Yeah.
And I saw them kill the boss. So congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Bravo. Very nicely done, team.